It's been a year of fast starts
And they're off. Where they go? Racing.
and fantastic finishes.
It's a photo finish in the Winnie. Too close to call.
Man, oh man.
We've seen familiar faces
Pink guy gets a whiff of immortality.
There's a look at a man that has gone where no one has gone before.
and caught rising stars.
Yeah. Marlon St. Julian off to a fantastic start.
This man is hot.
We've been all over the world
Montjean it is from El Condor Passage.
What a performance. Dubai Millennium wins it.
and right in our own backyard.
The Dangerous Flip by Fusaichi Pegasus, a TVG exclusive look at exactly what happened.
If it happened in racing, you saw it on TVG.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our one-year anniversary special. I'm Chris Harrison, alongside Caton Bradar and Todd Schrupp. Straight ahead in the next half hour, we're going to take a look back at some of the great and not so great moments here at TVG.
You'll relive Laffit Pincay's race to the record and follow us on a trip around the world.
But we start with the birth of a network, TVG, which for a while was nothing more than a rumor that had people talking about the possibilities of the first 24-hour horse racing network. While people talked, a network was being created. First, there was the search for talent.
A special early edition of harness racing from Los Alamitos.
Finally, the big day arrived.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rick Bedecker from TVG.
TVG officially made its entrance into the world.
Greetings and welcome to the home of horse racing.
Our first time out of the gate, we were a little unschooled.
I'm really looking forward to that first race from Calder.
Oh,
what are you doing to me, man?
Calder
What are you
today, is
doing?
there?
TVG's early live interviews had a few growing pains.
Mr. Lewis, are you on the phone right now? No? Mr. Mandela. Hello.
Our first attempts at live race coverage needed to mature a little.
We apologize, no audio from the track just yet. So a quick little break. When we come back, we'll have the interviews and all this technical stuff worked out.
But there was no denying TVG's raw potential.
Everybody's like calling to, have you seen this? I mean, it was just like unbelievable.
I think anybody tuning in for the first time would have been very impressed with the quality that was there.
When TVG debuted, we introduced a little show called Trackside Light, a late-night live racing show geared towards non-racing fans. Well, this show quickly became the most controversial, talked-about show in our brief history.
Good evening and welcome to an exciting evening of thoroughbred and harness racing coverage live here on Trackside Light. I'm one of your hosts, Claudia Simon, and joining me is Todd T. Schrupp.
That's how Trackside Light began. But it didn't take long for viewers to realize this wasn't their grandfather's racing show.
Get in my belly!
How far is a furlong? Claudia.
No, she didn't say anything.
A furlong is not very far.
Excellent. Well done, Claudia. TVG's theory was, hey, it's late night. Let's be a little crazy. So we tried to combine racing, humor, and education.
Question number one. What horse won the 1992 Breeders' Cup Sprint?
Johnny.
Jeez. Who is it, Johnny?
30 Slows.
Yeah, and who was part owner in that horse, Tim Pegram?
That would be my dad.
But many racing insiders weren't as enthusiastic about Trackside Light as we were, and soon it was open season on TVG.
Oh, this is humiliating.
I'm worried the racing media is going to kill us. And it's all my fault that we came out here. I'm really sorry that I got us into this mess. And I hope that we manage to get out this. Oh, there's the sounds again. There's the sounds again.
In September, a decision was made to put Trackside Light on the shelf until it can reach its intended audience.
You know, this isn't religion and it's not politics. It's supposed to be entertainment. Anybody who's going to get all bent out of shape because they're not, handicapping the 8th at Balmoral in the middle of the night, I think is being unrealistic about it.
So Trackside Light is gone, but not forgotten.
Hang in there, everybody, because there is justice eventually.
When we return, Pincay stands alone at the top.
As Laffit Pincay Jr. becomes the world's all-time winningest jockey.
Welcome back. TVG's done something no one has ever done before, and that's put racing right in your living room. Whether it was the 5th from Saratoga or the 1st from Balmoral, TVG is there day in and day out. Here's a look back at some of our coverage from the past year.
First there was this real resistance, like, give us back the old one.
I think in this industry there's such a slowness to embrace anything new.
All bets were placed and TVG was ready to break its maiden.
Trackside Live begins right now.
For the first time ever, race fans could track new talent before they went on to superstardom.
Commander Bill still got his ears pricked. Here's to Sidechief Pegasus pushing through on the inside.
Here comes Red Bullet.
We talked to hundreds of racing insiders.
When did you think you had the race won? When we entered them.
The only sure thing about horse racing is that there isn't a sure thing.
In our first year, we covered a lot of ground. We visited Vegas
inside the MGM Grand, the National Handicapping Championship,
and took you on thoroughbred shopping sprees.
There it is, $1 million for the Hennessy filly.
Our features department produced stories that educated and informed.
Surfside is the main attraction. She literally surfed her way to victory in her most gritty performance to date.
And entertained.
Blonde Bombshell, please tell us, what is your system for picking horses?
Color. There were triumphs to celebrate.
Manitouish giving Mark Guidry career win 4,000.
And tragedies to report.
J.C. Gonzalez has now been pronounced dead after the mishap in the 5th at Fairplex.
Frankie Dettori and Ray Cochran are fortunate to be alive after narrowly escaping death in a small plane crash.
TVG's anchors and analysts gave you the information you needed to pick early favorites.
I think there's only one horse to go with, and that's Fusaichi Pegasus.
And sometimes predict long shots.
It's nice when you give out a 40-to-1 shot.
It's been a wild ride, and now TVG has grown into a yearling.
I think TVG has found its rhythm, found its voice.
It totally changed my life, really. My leisure time. I mean, I just hang out and watch races all the time.
Now it's just become part of the vocabulary, TVG.
Nicknamed the Pirate, Lafitte Pinkai Jr. has stamped himself as one of the greatest jockeys of all time. Back in December, when Lafitte approached the legendary Bill Shoemaker's record for career wins, Trackside Live went trackside for the first time. We set up camp at Hollywood Park, tracking Pinkai's race to the record.
And there's our hero, Lafitte Pinkai on the 8th prototype.
And prototype gets in.
Now just 2 wins shy of tying Shoe's all-time win mark.
I want to do it here, and I don't want to take a chance on doing someplace else.
The bottom line is this has really been built up nicely by Hollywood Park, and I think he'd like to return the favor absolutely by getting it here.
Here's a look at Lafitte arriving this morning at Hollywood Park.
If he could carry these horses down the stretch himself, he would do it right now.
Number 3, Millie's Quest, Lafitte Pinkai's mount, I think one of his best mounts of the day.
Millie's Quest takes the lead. Millie's Quest's going to get Pinkai within 1 of the record.
We welcome other networks joining TVG's live coverage of Lafitte Pinkai's race to the record.
Ivy Casual just in front of photo finish. I think Ivy Casual.
You hear the applause, of course, Lafitte Pinkai. His first win came way back in May 19th of 1964 in Panama. 35 years later, he has made history tying Bill Shoemaker, who is on hand to witness this magical moment.
This is a sporting accomplishment that we might never ever see again.
Wake up this morning and see it on the front page of sports on the LA Times. That hasn't happened for a long, long time.
Do you want to be a jockey when you get older?
Maybe.
I think everyone's got the feeling that this is the one.
Pinkai gets a whiff of immortality as Irish Nip is finding plenty on the lead. Responding to the Pinkai power, it's Irish Nip surging clear in its history at Hollywood Park as Lafitte Pinkai Jr. becomes the world's all-time winningest jockey.
Well, Lafitte, you've always been a great jockey. Now you're the greatest. How does it feel?
It feels great. Why I was really feeling.
Would you like to know the words spoken right there?
Well, I can't remember the last race that made me cry, but it just did.
TVG has stamped itself as America's horse racing network, but our reach extends across the Atlantic, south of the equator, and as far away as the Middle East. While we haven't been able to promote world peace, we have managed to show some pretty good international races. And it all started with Europe's most prestigious horse race, the Arc de Triomphe. Bonjour! Welcome to Breakfast in Paris and TVG's exclusive live coverage.
I win the last 3, but this show is more difficult.
Because, it's the greatest race in the world.
Serious worldwide implications in the sport of horse racing based on what happens here today in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
The press has been talking a lot about Montjuic, a 3-year-old taking on older horses for the very first time.
Montjuic it is from El Condor Passage.
As the Americans say, awesome.
What a great sight this is.
The Pellegrini or whatever, the big race down there, I thought that was incredible. Different country, different culture.
For us, it's a big honor to have you here.
What an amazing day here on TVG to be able to see this live.
With the bird's eye view, we're going to travel across the world to the United Arab Emirates, Dubai.
Big Jack wins it. There has been so much hype.
Dubai World Cup 2000, and it's still Dubai Millennium. Dubai Millennium, he's annihilating them. He's romping away. This is the wonder horse. Dubai Millennium is coming home well clear in the Millennium Dubai World Cup. What a performance.
That was an unbelievable effort.
You know, I'm very happy. This is the best race we won.
It's unbelievable. What a horse performance. He was very impressive.
The way that he won, he might, in the end, be one of the best dirt horses ever.
So there's an unbelievable tradition attached to this event.
We've labeled this horse as the best horse in the world.
This is some performance. It's Dubai Millennium, Jerry Bailey, who goes on to win the Prince of Wales.
Dubai Millennium continues to dazzle.
There is no horse, you know, like this horse.
TVG has shown the best races from around the world, and we've also had the opportunity to bring viewers trackside coverage from across the U.S.
I think big days are always more exciting.
Up next, our feature, and you will see it here live on TVG.
And there they go.
I like the live action of taking people physically to the races.
It's Silicon, ladies down, 1-2.
I did not think there was any way, no how was he getting through. I still will have to look at it to see how he did it.
This is a very good horse, though.
TVG has brought a lot of excitement, and I think more viewers. I know it's helped me. It's great.
At the wire, photo finish between Rings and Chime and Zoptic in the Ashland.
They'll have to anxiously wait it out, and neither one budging off their mount here. Now it's official.
Are you a big fan of lilies? Because that's what they drape over the Oaks winter.
I think the big thing that you guys have is doing the special events.
We are getting set for the big race tonight, the Arnold Pacing Series final.
Red bow tie, Big Tom. Red bow tie to win the Arnold over Big Tom.
Hallowed Dream, and her record will remain unblemished.
The MBNA American Challenge Championship.
Policy Tax running the race of his life.
You saw his smile out there, just the look of surprise. That's what racing is all about.
Victory Gallop made a gigantic move on the turn. Here's that matchup we've been waiting for the best in the country.
You've got two very horse-related people that were trainers or have been around horses. They know exactly what to look for.
Very rarely in dirt racing you see a horse making a move like this.
So look at him, he's extending his right leg faster here.
They're educating us, they're educating the public.
He's as game as any horse can be.
All the big races leading up to the Derby.
Musaichi Pegasus will roll into Kentucky as the favorite in the Derby.
We certainly all knew who the horses were.
High Yield is dead game on the inside.
Check with our experts across the country.
Well, today, maybe a superstar has been born.
He's a special horse, and he's got a lot of courage.
A lot of that stemmed from your coverage.
Welcome to Churchill Downs. It's a huge day here.
You're taking people out of the studio by going live, which I thought was terrific.
Up next, the Derby Works. And our top 10 races.
It's Dubai Millennium. He's increased his advantage.
The Kentucky Derby is called the greatest 2 minutes in sports, but it's the 2 weeks leading up to the Run for the Roses that can determine the winner. TVG decided to let viewers see the daily training of all the Kentucky Derby and Oaks contenders firsthand, something that had never been done before. We call it Derby 2000, the works.
I can't think of anything in recent memory that has generated more excitement and enthusiasm about the Derby than that work show.
Welcome to Churchill Downs. I'm Kate and Bradar joining you live. Shortly I'll be joined by a cast of thousands as we trace the workouts and the morning preparations of the top contenders.
Derby week, I always made sure I was up here in the press box by 11 o'clock to turn on that workout show.
This is something that he's doing just at the break of dawn with very few people around and not that many horses on the track.
Especially with those horses that went out first thing.
TVG cameras tracked him from stall to back.
Look at him. Look at how high he can get in the
With
air.
all 4 feet off the ground.
He is amazing.
He's got so much energy. If he doesn't train him enough, he's going to go nuts. And if he trains him too hard, he's going to have a squeezed lemon on the first Saturday in May.
I thought that was a phenomenal event and service that you guys were providing.
One last piece of news, now globalized as a result of a freak accident. Shortly after his gallop this morning, we'll have to scratch as well.
For the sophisticated racing fan, they were able to see these works.
This is the way you want to see a horse gallop.
34 3/5 of a second, very fast, but the track was playing fast this morning.
And for the person that's just interested in racing because it's Derby time and it comes across it, it's like, oh, this is what when they're talking about a workout in the paper, what they mean. There was a lot of educational stuff there.
Niall O'Callaghan has given me plenty of abuse over the past 2 weeks. Now he's going to show me the love and tell me who he likes and why.
Well, I'm going to be a chicken, and I'm going with a chicken combo. I'm picking 3 horses.
Usaichi Pegasus does look like a real freak.
Hey, TVG.
What's that?
When people saw this is what can be done that hasn't been done before.
As you know, in live TV, things don't always go as planned, especially when you're dealing with feeds from 40 different racetracks, 60 races a day, and the Todd Schrupp factor. Here's a look at some of the moments we hope you missed.
Welcome back.
Come on, Coach. You gotta carry us here.
Sorry, I was just nearly choked on my food.
Get in my belly!
Okay.
We'd have to do the hind lick maneuver.
Oh, that would be nice. I've had that one before, believe me.
Yeah, it's going to be like a bad karate film because my voice is going to be off about 3 or 4 seconds.
Frank's not here right now, but if you leave a message, he will call you right back.
Intern.
Would he lay $15,000 at 15 to 1 Stravinsky? His own money? Of course he wouldn't. It's ridiculous.
This guy picks losers upon losers, although, hey, I can relate to that.
Our own Corey Black and Caton Bradar.
I thought fox hunting was illegal in this state.
Corey, could you ask Caton which way the fox went?
All right, just don't ask me to do that. But one more question. Okay, Alex, here you go.
That guy is weird. If you had to kind of sum up your philosophy towards training, what's made you so successful?
Oh, good horses always makes everybody successful, but you just have to keep working at it.
Talk to us about the 5th. You have a horse going into 5th. You've been doing extremely well this year. 58 wins, kind of running away with the trainer title right now. Talk to us about how it's been for you.
Oh, it's having a good year. Some years are good and some's bad, but this is a good year.
Good luck today.
Okay.
Todd Schrupp, you are unbelievable.
How do you want me to Sunday? What's the timing wise on this? 14 lengths for Sunday's race in England, and we'll arrive just before. Now it's boring.
We're continuing to have fun.
Right now, let's go to the paddock, and Jeff Lifson standing by.
What's up?
We will get back to Jeff Lifson in just a minute or two.
He cannot help it. Laughing fit. All right.
It's out of control. Whoa,
hello.
hey now. Well, let's talk about it. The 8 has an erection. The question is it going to affect his race, Frankie?
I mean, if it gets caught in the gate, for sure.
Caught in the gate.
By the way, the 5 hustle.
We got a bleeder!
There's El Chubbo.
You're on your own, Chris.
And if there is a God, they'll be at the gate soon.
Yeah.
No, I just had a laughing fit in the middle of everything. I couldn't handle it.
Is that lame? That's lame, isn't it? That was lame. That was lame.
I'm often asked, Todd T., what's the best race TVG has shown? Well, in the past year, we've televised over 20,000 races, each with its own unique story. Some made us say wow, others gave us goosebumps. Then there were the few that separated themselves as classics. Here are the 10 best races you saw this past year on TVG. We start where Horse Chestnut, the South African wonder horse, lived up to his reputation in the Broward.
He's in front by 4. Rock and Roll is left in his wake. I say Pete might get second. Here is Horse Chestnut.
2 days before the Derby, Churchill Downs showcased 3-year-old fillies in the La Triane, where Roxalana put on a dominating performance.
Away by 7 lengths. Roxalana, Larry Melanson peeking back for the competition. He'll put the brakes on. Roxalana, much the best, winning the La Troyenne by 8 lengths.
Last summer, Silver Bullet Day showed her rivals why there was no question as to who the best 3-year-old filly in the country was.
Look at this filly go. She is leaving them in her wake. Silver Bullet Day widening away. Tremendous effort. This is indeed a super filly.
The 1999 Woodward featured one of the most dramatic finishes of the year, with River Keen winning by a nose.
Closing round, those 3 together with 1 furlong to go. Running Stag, Almutuakel, and River Keen. River Keen, Almutuakel now heads apart. Running Stag not enough for the final 100 yards. It is Almutuakel and River Keen. It's desperately close. Too close to call!
The Matriarch at Hollywood Park featured Breeders' Cup Mile runner-up Tuzla and Bobby Frankel's Happy and You Know It.
Tuzla the leader, Happy and You Know It, lifting the photo, Happy and You Know It got up ahead.
Julio Canani's entry ran 1-2 in last year's Shoemaker Mile, so it wasn't a shock that the same entry was favored for the 2000 running. But nobody could have predicted the finish.
Ladies Den, Sillick, Ladies Den, Sharan between those horses. It's a Kanani double as they come on down to the line. Both horses here. It's Sillick and Ladies Den, 1-2 in the Breeders' Shoemaker Mile.
The word super horse has been used to describe Dubai Millennium, but incredibly, he wasn't even favored when he ran at Royal Ascot.
Second place Centre War, making no impression at this stage. Followed then by Sumitas, Beadle, King Adam behind them. But as they come to the final furlong, it's Dubai Millennium. He's increased his advantage. He's gone 6 or 7 lengths in front. Centre War can't pick him up. Battling on as Beadle, but this is some performance. It's Dubai Millennium, Jerry Bailey, who goes on to win the Prince of Wales Estates by 6 or 7 lengths.
For the first time ever, Americans were able to watch Europe's most prestigious race, the Arc de Triomphe, live from their homes. And no one was disappointed.
Coco Rouge is in third as they go for the line now. Manger on the stand side takes the lead from El Condo Passar. They're 6 lengths clear of Coco Rouge in third, but Manger it is from El Condo Passar as they pass the post.
The 1999 Whitney featured a matchup of the top older horses in the country.
Victory Gallop made a gigantic move on the turn.
The result was one of the most exciting stretch drives in years.
The field, they're coming into the final furlong. Here's that matchup we've been waiting for the best in the country. Barons and Victory Gallop nip and tuck down to the final 60. Barons on the inside, Victory Gallop on the outside. Victory Gallop and Barons. Victory Gallop's got a short lead. Barons is game. It's a photo finish in the Whitney. Too close to call.
It's only appropriate that our #1 race be the richest race in the world, the Dubai World Cup. TVG viewers witnessed a breathtaking performance by Dubai Millennium, who stamped himself as the best horse in the world.
Stag is staying on all the time. It's a one-horse race. It's Dubai Millennium. Here comes Frankie Detroy. Dubai Millennium is annihilating them. He's romping away. This is the wonder horse. Dubai Millennium is coming home well clear in the Millennium Dubai World Cup. What a performance. Dubai Millennium wins it.
When he's not worrying about Frank Lyons getting us sued, Mark Wilson, our president and CEO, is a pioneer in the racing industry. Whether he's working with the NTRA, track owners, or just talking with fans, Mark strives to promote horse racing across the country.
The first year of TVG is in the books, and it was a milestone in the history of horse racing. For me personally, it was a labor of love and a dream come true in bringing this project to fruition. I'd like to specifically thank the NTRA, Fox, our track partners, breeders and horsemen for their support over the last year, and to TV Guide for believing in TVG and horse racing. And to our staff, both in front of and behind the scenes, thank you very much for your hard work over the past year. To our fans that are out there, here's to another great year of TVG and the passion and the promise that we can bring to you and horse racing.
Guys, it's hard to believe year number 1 already in the books. I'm anxious to see what year 2 has in store for us.
Chris, before I was an employee of America's Horse Racing Network, TVG, I was a fan of horse racing. In Caton, through TVG, we have an opportunity to make more fans of this wonderful sport.
Well, and the magical thing about the sport of horse racing is it takes people to places they've never been before, introduces them to new people, and through TVG, more people have had that opportunity.
We leave you with a look at the most important people here at TVG, those folks you don't get to see in front of the camera. So long, everybody.
What are we supposed to do?
God heck doesn't know what the he's doing. What the is going on in here? This isn't romper room anymore. Been on this shot too long. Basic director stuff.
Let's do the rudder thing.
Group pump.
Oh, I'm coming down.
The most important thing for TVG reporters is the story.
Back to you, Jeff Lifson. Back to you.
No one's getting a raise.
Two, one.
Eric, turn it off. Yeah. Hey, get that thing off. I said turn that thing off.
Okay, here we go.
Yes, you just say whack.
Okay, let's do this real quick, you guys.
Reverse trifecta.
Too early.
We're still on right now? After a year?
We managed to stay on the air.